Hey everybody, this is the fourth video in our rational expressions, equations, and functions, lesson 3, adding and subtracting rational expressions. You guys were supposed to do B where we left off, and you can see the workings for that here. Once you get the numerator added together, you want to see if it's factorable in case you can actually cancel out another factor. In this case, the numerator is not factorable, and don't forget to write your restrictions. So there's your answer. On the back page, it's a little more difficult just because we have to factor the denominators first and then find the least common denominator. So in C, you could see I factored x squared minus 1 to x plus 1, x minus 1. That's a difference squared. And I factored 4x plus 4 to 4 times x plus 1. So the least common denominator are the factors that they don't share and the factors that they share. Well, they don't share a 4. They don't share x minus 1, and they share an x plus 1. So the least common denominator is the factors that they share and they don't share. And you can see I wrote the least common denominator right down here. Now I have to figure out what to multiply each numerator by, and I do that by determining which fraction, what it's missing from the least common denominator. So the 6 has a denominator of x plus 1, x minus 4, so it's actually missing from our least common denominator of 4. So I'd multiply the 6 by the missing 4. And in the second fraction, the denominator is 4x plus 1, so it's missing from the LCD x minus 1. So I multiply the numerator of the second one by x minus 1. So now you have to go through the fun part of simplifying the numerator, and you do that just in case you can factor it again. So all I've done is 6 times 4 is 24. I'm doing double distribution for B, and then I'm going to add my like terms. So I get x squared minus 7x plus 30. And I'm going to see if this is factorable. It is not factorable. Two numbers multiplied together give you 30. Add give you negative 7 is not going to work, so it's not factorable. I bring the denominator back into play. And I be sure to write my restrictions. It cannot be 1 and negative 1. So my final answer is right here. So the only extra step is the creating of the denominator, factoring the denominator, and finding the LCD. So we're going to do D, and then you're going to do E on your own. So you need to come into class with E. This is a U-try. This is a little harder because it's subtraction. Just remember to distribute that negative in. So again, we start with factoring the denominator. So you can see how I factored the denominators, and then I write my least common denominator. It's the factors that they share and the factors that they don't share. And now I'm going to write my equivalent fractions all over my common denominator. Because remember, when you add or subtract fractions, you add the numerators and you keep the denominator. So it'd be a waste of time for me to write both of these fractions with the same denominator because they're going to wind up having the same denominator. So anyways, I'm going to look at the 3 now. In this denominator, I'm missing the x plus 7, so that's what I'm multiply the 3 by. I have a minus 2 here. Be careful. I have to distribute that minus 2 into whatever is missing. In this fraction, the common denominator, I'm missing 5x. So there I've created my equivalent fractions, and now I will simplify the numerator, which would give you 3x plus 21 minus 10x, negative 7x plus 21. I can pull out a negative 7, and again, I want to do this just in case this numerator has a factor in the denominator. So there's the numerator factored. I'm going to bring the denominator back into play. And it doesn't have any common factors, so this is my final solution, final sum. And my 3 restrictions are x cannot be 0, x cannot be 4, and x cannot be negative 7. So you're going to try E. You need to factor first. This is a difference of squares. This one you're going to need the x method. Write your least common denominator, write your equivalent fractions, add your numerators, and then see if you can simplify. Good luck, and make sure this is complete before you come into class next time.